Oh, Jamar Chase with the dive. Because Garrett Wilson's wide open. Garrett Wilson, touchdown Barrett. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video here in the World of Juice channel, and welcome back to another Madden experiment video. This one's going to be a good one. I'm pretty excited about this one. So, everybody knows that the NFL is a young man's game. And mainly, all professional sports and sports in general are a young man's game. Now, you do have your exceptions for guys into their 30s, their late 30s, into their 40s, performing at a higher level than you would think. Now, obviously, the most common example and the most recognizable person to do this is obviously Tom Brady. So today, that got me thinking. I was going through the rosters on Madden, and I was like, you know what? Can the oldest team in the NFL win a Super Bowl? And we're going to find that out right now. We are going to find out if a collection of all of the old veterans, the guys that are on hospice care, can they win a Super Bowl when put together? So that's the experiment we're going to be finding out today. One season, because I don't know how many of our members of this team are going to retire after the season. So one season is all we get to win a Super Bowl. Let's go meet the team and see if the oldest team in NFL history can win a Super Bowl. Okay, so here is the team, and I will go through each position and talk about why they are on this team. So, luckily for us, a lot of the older players, at least like on the offensive line, there's a few guys that are super old that are still like super high overall, like the highest overall offensive lineman in the entire game, Trent Williams. He happens to be, what, like 34? 34, yeah, so that helps out. So I went position by position, and I chose the oldest players at each position. And the quarterback position was probably the easiest one out of all of them. We have Mr. 45-year-old Thomas Brady headed to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We're on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers because of Tom Brady. If only felt natural. Well, I guess not natural. It only felt right to keep him on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I guess I could have made it on New England, but he was already on Tampa, so I felt like we don't need to move him. So Tom Brady is the number one quarterback for us. He is 45 years old. Then the second two oldest quarterbacks in the NFL are Joe Flacco, who is 37 years old, and we have Chad Henne, who is 32, 33? Oh, 37. I apologize, Chad Henne. I thought you were younger than that. Those are the three oldest quarterbacks in the NFL. Running back was a little bit of a harder position to figure out because, as you know, running backs are one of the most important young positions in the league. Like, you want to have a young running back, and then you use them for their rookie contract, and more than likely you don't re-sign them because they're already beaten down. So running back was a harder position, but luckily for us, a running back who's had kind of a career resurgence is Cordell Patterson. Former wide receiver turned running back with Atlanta. He's 31 years old, one of the older running backs in the league, and he just happens to be an 85 overall. So that helped us out a lot. I got really lucky by that because our other options were Gio Bernard and Adrian Peterson. Now, Adrian Peterson, probably a Hall of Famer, maybe, depending on if they value the end of his career or not. But one of the best running backs of the 2010s, maybe the best running back of the 2010s, but he has fallen off of an absolute sheer cliff. He's a 70 overall now. How old is he? Is he like 34, 35? He's 37 too. I need to learn my ages. But those are the running backs. So I kind of got bailed out with Cordell Patterson. Thank you for having a great career. Now we have wide receivers. DeAndre Hopkins is 30 years old, and he is a 96 overall. He is the best wide receiver that we have. You did see we had Adam Thielen too, but he is not a number one. He's a number two. He's 32 as well. So we have two really good wide receivers. The rest of them, we have Julio Jones, we have A.J. Green, Deshaun Jackson, Randall Cobb. Those are the wide receivers that are some of the oldest in the entire league. Now on the offensive line has the best left tackle in the game, Trent Williams. We already took a look at him. Then it has Roger Saffold. Left guard really wasn't much there. And Jason Peters is there as well. And Dwayne Brown. I forgot about Dwayne Brown for left tackle. Jason Kelsey and Ryan Jensen are two of the oldest, if not the oldest, centers in the league. Right guard Kevin Zeitler and Kyle Long are the oldest right guards in the league. Then you have Lane Johnson and Brian Bulaga as two of the oldest right tackles in the league. A lot of veteran leadership on this team. There's no young guns. There's nobody. Oh, I wanted to mention there is nobody under 30. Everybody is 30 or older on this team. Nobody is under 30. So take that for what it is. Tight ends was a rough one. Mercedes Lewis, I think he's like 37, right? 38? He's 38 years old. That's crazy. Still in the league. So he was the oldest tight end, and he just happens to be the best overall tight end. Then we have Taysom Hill, who we know is a very utility player, but in Madden he's listed as a tight end. But he is a 84 overall, and he's an 84 at fullback. He's a 75 tight end, and he is what did I say, 32? And then we got Jimmy Graham, who in his prime might have been one of the most dominant tight ends I've ever watched. He wasn't as good as Gronk in terms of like pure dominance, but Jimmy Graham was a beast in his prime on the Saints. So that is the offense. That's what we're working with in terms of the offense. On defense, we have, now it may look good because of X factors, but this is a very, very experienced old defense. We have Von Miller, who is just so happens to be still really, really good at 33 years old. He's going to be one of our pass rushers. We also have Calais Campbell. We have Akeem Hicks, both super old pass rushers. Fletcher Cox, one of the oldest D tackles in the league, with Al Woods and Ndamukong Suh, Mike Daniels. Those are some of the oldest D tackles in the league. Then we have Cam Jordan and J.J. Watt as two of the oldest pass rushers in the league on terms of like the edge rushers, like the ends. Then we go to the linebackers. Obviously, Justin Houston, you figured would be on this team. Pernell McPhee. Then we got Demario Davis, Melvin Ingram, Levante David. Actually, I got lucky because Levante David was already on the Buccaneers, and he just happened to be 32 years old. So I was like, you know what? He gets to stay. He gets to stay on this team. He can be middle linebacker number 1. Bobby Wagner on this team. Chandler Jones. You already saw Melvin Ingram. So that linebacking core looks good. How will it play in this season? I don't know. I hope we can win a Super Bowl. Corners, we've got really not any great corners. Now, if this was like 10 years ago or like 6 or 7 years ago, this team would be elite in terms of corners. Patrick Peterson, Chris Harris Jr., Malcolm Butler, Janoris Jenkins, Prince Amukamara. I mean, these corners 5 years ago are elite corners, but nowadays they're just kind of there. So corner might be a position where we get kind of cooked. On the safety spots, we've got the oldest safety in the game, regardless of position, regardless of safety position, Devin McCourty, and then his former Patriot teammate Logan Ryan is also there. Then we've got strong safety Harrison Smith, Nate Ebner, because I love Nate Ebner, and he happens to be super old, and then Logan Ryan again. So that is the offense and the defense for the oldest team in the league. Special teams, we've got Ryan Suckup and Dustin Colquitt. Suckup is 35 years old, and I decided not to trade for anybody different. I just thought, you know what? They've already got an old kicker on the team. He fits the criteria. Why not just keep him? So we kept him. And then Dustin Colquitt is 40 years old. So I think he was the oldest person in free agency, regardless of whatever position it is. I think he was the oldest person in free agency. So I was like, you know what? Let's sign him, put him on as the punter, and let's go for it. So our kick return and punt return, Cordell Patterson, Randall Cobb. I guess it doesn't really matter who kick returns and who punt returns. It would be cool to have Cordell Patterson do kick returns. I guess it could change it. Specialist, doesn't matter who's in the slot. No, not really. Doesn't matter who the slot corner is. Third, the power running back they have as Adrian Peterson, which I don't necessarily hate. All right, that's what we're going to go with. We have schemes that we might need to change. Does anything fit better than what we were running already? Vertical power run seems to be what fits us the best, so we'll go with that. And then a 3-4 under is 100%. So that's pretty cool. And we'll rock with the Tampa Bay playbooks because Tom Brady always seems to perform pretty well in simulation in these playbooks. So that is the oldest team in NFL history on one squad. So we have one season to win a Super Bowl. We are a 92 offense, 91 defense, 91 overall team. I really hope that we can do this. No injuries, no fatigue, I don't think. I don't think I have fatigue on. We can check the settings right now. I don't think I have fatigue on. We have no injuries. We don't have fatigue, no practice injuries, nothing like that. So nobody's going to get hurt. Nobody's going to get tired. These guys have drank from the fountain of youth, and they are going to be going for one last hurrah, one last Super Bowl championship before they all probably retire at the end of the season. So it's going to be really interesting. I'm going to go past the Super Bowl regardless of if we win or not, just to see the player retirements, just to see all the Tampa Bay Buccaneer players that retire. So that's going to be pretty funny. But without further ado, it is time to see if we can win the Super Bowl. I'm going to simulate to the halfway point of the season, see where we're at, kind of look at the stats, see who's playing well, see who's not playing well, and we will go from there. So hope you guys enjoy. Leave a like, subscribe to the channel, join the Juice Club. If you have any other Madden experiment video ideas for me, let me know down below in the comments. I'd love to see them. And without further ado, let's go see if the oldest team in NFL history can win a Super Bowl. Here we are at the midseason mark, and this team is 6-1. We are absolutely dominating the first part of the season. We got to take a look at these stats to see just who is playing well. Tom Brady's leading the league in touchdowns and passing yards. He's got 2,200, 18 touchdowns to just 4 interceptions. Tom Brady's having an efficient season like you would expect him to have at age 45. Then we got running back Cordell Patterson seems to be getting... Sorry, I got an itch in my back. Cordell Patterson has a decent season so far, 410 yards, 2 touchdowns. Gio Bernard's got 120 on 42 carries. And Tom Brady's even got 12 carries for 56 yards and a touchdown. That's got to be a QB sneak. There's no way he was running any farther than 1 yard for a touchdown. But he's ran the ball 12 times. I don't know why. Receiving, DeAndre Hopkins. This is definitely really, really helpful for Tom Brady to have a guy like DeAndre Hopkins. He can just throw up 50-50 balls, and more than likely Hopkins is going to come down with them. Thielen's having a good season. He's got more touchdowns, though, than Hopkins. Julio's got 4 touchdowns. Randall Cobb's getting a few catches. Taysom Hill's got 2 touchdowns out of the tight end spot or fullback spot, either one. Defensively, Demario Davis is absolutely dominating. 54 tackles, 49 for Levante David. Chris Harris has 41. Sack leader, 5 for Cam Jordan, 4.5 for Von Miller so far, 4 for J.J. Watt, 3 for Calais Campbell. Interception leaders, we're not getting a lot of interceptions, which is what I expected because our corners aren't great. Patrick Peterson has 1. Our corners aren't amazing, but these seem to be like the quarterback threw it up in the middle of the field, and Chandler Jones and Levante David seem to be like right there to pick it off. That's probably most likely what happened. And Ryan Suckup at age 35, right? He was 35 or 32. I don't remember. Whatever it is, he is 10 for 10 and hit a 56 yarder so far this season. That's pretty crazy. We are the 2nd best offense in the league so far, and the defense is the 8th best. So I figured the defense would struggle a little bit because not everybody is as fast as you would like on the defense. So, I mean, speed kills in Madden. We all know this. But we've seen what this team can do so far during the season. I expect to see you guys at the divisional round because I wouldn't think that we would fall to the 2nd seed or even worse. But who knows? It's Madden. It's simulation. You never really know what's going to happen. And we're playing the 5-2 Ravens in the next week, so this is going to be a pretty tough game. But I will see you guys at the playoffs with hopefully a 1-loss veteran squad. Let's get to it. Okay, so I was right about one thing. We are in the divisional round. We were the #1 seed in the NFC. Unfortunately, we did lose 2 more games during the final half of the season, so we went 14-3, but that is still a phenomenal record for the oldest team in NFL history. And it seems like, judging by the side thing over there, that Tom Brady, in fact, led the league in passing yards with 5,400 at 45 years old. He also had 46 touchdowns to just 14 interceptions. I'd like to see that interception number go down just a little bit, but overall, it's still very, very good. Very good season for him. And just over 1,000 yards for Cordell Patterson, 1057 with 2 touchdowns. He didn't really get a lot of rushing touchdowns, but that's not what we needed. And Tom Brady, for some reason, ran the ball 31 times. What are we doing here, Tom? I've never seen you run the ball 31 times, and I've seen basically your entire career. Adrian Peterson must have been the goal line back because he got 8 touchdowns out of it. I'm expecting Cordell Patterson to have a lot of receiving yards. Actually, no. Cordell Patterson really didn't do much. I mean, he got 1,000 yards rushing, but didn't really do much in terms of getting touchdowns. Only 3 in total, both receiving and rushing. But 2 1,000-yard receivers, 120 catches for DeAndre Hopkins, 1,600 yards, 7 touchdowns. Adam Thielen had just under 100 with 99. And then he had 1,168 receiving yards and 12 touchdowns. And then Julio had 963 and 13 touchdowns. So Julio and Adam Thielen were battling for touchdowns as DeAndre Hopkins just getting the ball, basically. It must have been DeAndre Hopkins getting the ball down the field, and then Thielen and Jones were the ones at the red zone. And then almost 1,000 yards for Mercedes Lewis. Randall Cobb had a okay season, didn't really play much, it seems. On the defensive side of things, 2 100-tackle seasons. Levante David and Demario Davis. David had 118. Davis had 116. Tackles for loss, 19 for Von Miller, 15 for Cam Jordan. Sack leaders was Von Miller with 14.5. 11 for Cam Jordan. Insane. 7.5 for Calais Campbell. 5.5 for J.J. Watt. 4 for Fletcher Cox. Interceptions, a lot of key people had 2. David, Jones, McCourty, Peterson, and Harrison Smith all had 2 interceptions. DeMario had 1. Jenkins and Logan Ryan also had 1. So we were starting to pick the ball off. We only had 3 in the halfway point of the season. So we forced a lot of interceptions in the second half of the season. That's pretty crazy. Ryan Suckup did not go perfect the entire year, 17 of 20, but still hit a 56-yarder. Only missed 1 extra point the entire year, but it was blocked. And then Dustin Colquitt had a decent season punting. Kick returns, no kick return touchdowns for Randall Cobb or Deshaun Jackson, and no punt return touchdowns for Cordell Patterson. There was only 12 punt returns the entire year. That's crazy. Absolutely crazy. We had the 2nd best offense in the league and the 6th best defense in the league. So I will take both of those. Those are pretty good. And we were the 3rd highest scoring team in the NFL. And now we are taking on the Washington Commanders in round 2 of the playoffs. Round 1 for us. Can we beat the Commanders and go to the NFC chip? That's what we're trying to do. 17-14. It was a close one, but we are taking on the Dallas Cowboys in the NFC title game. I don't know if we're going to be able to beat them or not. It's going to be tough. Can Tom Brady beat the Cowboys? No, we lose 30-23 in the NFC title game against the Cowboys. So unfortunately, this team falls 1 game short of winning the Super Bowl. But hey, that was still a very, very successful experiment, because we found out that a team full of the oldest guys in the NFL can still get it done. So that is pretty cool. And now here is the fun part. It's to see how many people on this team retire. Are we going to lose the entire team? So the season recap, the Cowboys win the Super Bowl over the Bengals 35-28. Patrick Mahomes is your MVP. Nick Sirianni Coach of the Year. Cooper Kupp and Aaron Donald are the Defensive Player of the Years and are the Players of the Year. And then Drake London and Aiden Hutchinson are your Rookies of the Year. So those are your stats for the one season. But what happened here with the retirements? This is what everybody's come to see. Is the entire team going to retire? This is the big one. All right, here we go. Is everybody going to retire? I'm so excited for this. I'm more excited for this than if we would have won the Super Bowl, because I can't wait to see just how many Buccaneer players are retiring. Okay, here we go. View the 2022 retirement class. Let's do this. Come on. Okay. Some older guys are retiring, but let's go to Tampa to figure out just how many of our players are calling it a career. Okay, so as you can see, we have the yellow bar above me, so that means we have to scroll pretty decent way. Deshaun Jackson, oops, I didn't mean to do that. Deshaun Jackson, Ndamukong Suh, Jason Peters, Dwayne Brown, Calais Campbell, Joe Flacco, Chad Henne, Adrian Peterson, Mercedes Lewis, Dustin Colquitt, Nate Ebner, Janoris Jenkins, Chris Harris, Prince Amukamara, Pernell McPhee, Justin Houston, Jason Kelsey, Julio Jones, AJ Green, Steve McClendon, Al Woods, Roger Saffold, Brian Bulaga, Jimmy Graham, Kyle Long. Basically, our entire offensive line just retired in this offseason. That is absolutely insane. If we take a look at the roster now, with all those retirements, we have Ryan Jensen playing 2 different positions. We only have 3 receivers left. We have Tom Brady, who, out of everybody, Tom Brady's the one I thought would retire, but he doesn't. He chooses to come back for his age 46 season. Patterson and Bernard are still here. On defense, we still have a lot of the same guys. The defense isn't really impacted too much. It was mainly the offensive line, because we still have Harrison Smith. We still have basically everybody on the linebacking core. Devin McCourty's still here. Patrick Peterson and Malcolm Butler. The corners got hit pretty hard, but the defensive line's still available. We still got J.J. Watt. Still got Cam Jordan, Fletcher Cox, Von Miller. So, I mean, the defensive line didn't really get hit too much. The punter retiring was kind of funny, too, with Dustin Colquitt being 40 years old, but so many retirees from this team. I wonder if we went like multiple seasons, if we could retire every single person on this team. That'd be pretty funny, but that is going to do it for this video. I hope you guys did enjoy. Unfortunately, we couldn't successfully complete the challenge by winning a Super Bowl. We do lose to the Cowboys in the NFC title game, but hey, we got to see the funniest part of the entire video, which was basically the entire team retiring. The entire offense, I should say, retiring. So I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, leave it a like, subscribe to the channel, join the Juice Club. Like I said in the earlier portion of this video, if you have any other Madden 23 experiment videos, whether it be stuff like this, where we build a roster and see if they can win a Super Bowl, or if you have like a certain player you want to see get 99 X Factor, everything, like stuff like that, stuff that I've done in the past, or maybe stuff I haven't done yet that I haven't thought of. Leave it down below if you have any ideas. I'd love to read them and maybe possibly put them into a video. So thanks again for stopping by and watching. I really do appreciate it, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.